Shortly, I'm going to play a clip of the Jimmy Dore show where they're talking about this guy, Aslan Anders, or whatever his name is. But my point is that they are exposing propaganda in this war between Putin and the Russians and Ukrainians. They're exposing the propaganda, and people are finding out that the mainstream media is lying to them, right? So it's quite obvious that there's a lot of propaganda in the war, in wartime. So in World War II, there definitely was propaganda. But what gets on my nerves is that, and Jimmy Dore is pretty good. His show is pretty good. He exposes things, but a little bit stunted, a little bit like disingenuous, because how could you not think that, or that there's propaganda in this war? They're comparing Hitler to Putin, Putin to Hitler, right? But we know that they are misrepresenting what Putin is all about. There's a lot of things that the mainstream media is not saying, and people are actually finding this out, and they're very upset that the mainstream media is misleading them, right? So what makes you think that they didn't do this to Hitler, right? They didn't like him either. What makes you think that they didn't mislead us about what Hitler was really doing? Because you know what's happening in Palestine. But anyway, I just want you to hear this, and then I'll comment afterwards.
He also, Jimmy, I don't know if you caught this one where he said that at least Hitler didn't use chemical weapons. He said that too, which is just absolutely insane when you know what Hitler actually did. I mean, these people are
Hitler gassed. They gassed everybody and pay no attention to the showers, and then they would gas them.
Exactly right. So, but this is the level. This is how insane these people are, that they're willing to deny Hitler's atrocities and whitewash them if it means whitewashing and manufacturing consent for a war against Russia.
See what I mean? So they're going along with the talking points of World War II. He gassed them, the final solution and everything like that. What if all that was propaganda? In order to make him look like the bad guy, because they're trying to make Putin look like the bad guy. They're exposing the information that the mainstream media is not telling you, but yet they believe the information that came from World War II when there was a whole bunch of propaganda in war and in World War II. They're aware of this, but they're still repeating the same talking points. They're not even thinking that, hey, are we even being told the truth about Hitler? Maybe they're actually lying to us about Hitler. They're not even thinking about that. That's what gets on my nerves. That's why I feel that, they're being disingenuous. Because it's obvious that there was some propaganda back in the day. Because if you look what's happening in Palestine right now, the Jews are very nasty towards the Palestinians. Well, what makes you think that that's the reason why Hitler rose up? Because it's like, well, these people are being nasty to my people, and I want to stop this. I have to stop these people. You understand? Obviously, it's not all Jews, but there is obviously a problem. They're causing problems for the Germans, and I want to stop this. He didn't want what's happening in Palestine now happen to Germany back then. You understand? He wanted to stop it. And that's what he did. And then because the Jews were powerful back then, they had influence, they're going to paint him as the bad guy. When no, I'm stopping you. It's like if the Palestinians rose up and said, hey, we don't want to be treated like garbage anymore. You understand? It's like, oh no, these Palestinians, we have to push them down. It's like, what? Why? Treat us fairly and then it's all good. But you want to take over and you want to treat us like garbage. And the Germans didn't want to be treated like garbage, so they rose up. Like Hitler came and he rose up and said, like, no, you're not going to treat us like garbage. And then they put forward this propaganda campaign to make him seem like the bad guy. That makes perfect sense. The way their behavior is in Israel or in Palestine, what makes you think that they weren't doing that in Germany? And that's why Hitler rose up. Come on, man. But yet, somehow it escapes these people. That's what gets on my nerves.